You're alone, Joe?
I know. What's up, Troy? How are
Not
you
a lot.
guys doing? Oh, I know, right? It's really weird hearing your voice just come in randomly. It was kind of startled me there for a moment. Uh, what's up, guys? Welcome to Happsstars. This is season 3, episode 6, coming to you tonight on this October the 14th, 2021. And I definitely am not Carrie Long. I don't have red lipstick and I don't have a bust. There is no waistline, and I am not that adoring, beautiful woman that you guys know and love. However, I do have a very thick Kentucky accent, and I love the 80s. So that's what you got to deal with for the rest of the night. Uh, but I will say this much: I love Carrie, and it's definitely going to be interesting not having her here tonight. But she is celebrating her birthday with her kid. It's Cadence's birthday tonight, and hey, what any mother would want to be with their child on their birthday. I know, you know what? I get it. It's totally cool. But the fact that she put this in our hands tonight for us to be able to do and produce, and with a guest. And wait, I can't do this all alone.
Hey,
Wait a
Joe,
minute.
I have some
Yeah,
red lipstick you can borrow if you want some.
absolutely. Can we see where's the red lipstick at? Where's she at? I don't. Hello. There we go.
Go.
Now we got some girl
Do you need
power.
some?
Oh sure, yeah. I'll take some.
In
All
the honor of
right.
Carrie, I am donning the red lip. We miss her. I have very large, tall stilettos to fill tonight, so I hope you guys are gonna have a good time with just Joe and
Yes.
I
Yeah. No,
guess.
it's going to be great. Lindsay, just really quickly before we get involved, these guys, people that are watching Half Stars right now, maybe they're recurring people that like to watch every week. And they may not understand our chemistry as Burke and Badges, Badges Burke.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
so
That's a
how
long
long
so
have
we
we
only
been
have an
doing?
hour and a half and we have to introduce our guest,
Well,
Joe.
I know that, but what I'm saying is they need to understand that you and I have been doing this for quite some time.
It's right. We are siblings without being blood relation.
It's
We
true.
have known each other for what? It's almost 8 years
2016.
now, Joe.
Yeah, yeah, it's been crazy. So Lindsay and I have been together on many platforms. We actually do a show together, a pop culture science fiction show called Pop X Cast,
Oh
which will
yeah.
be actually airing this weekend. Coming up, we'll be talking about some cool things, some nerdy things. But it's so cool. I feel like I'm doing the creative multiverse tonight because I got the Badges Burke
It's
combination.
amazing. And look at all these amazing people. We've got
I
Phony.
know.
I think he was first
Phony in the
in.
house. Yes.
Jeremy, Tim, Chris Wigan, why are
Michael
you in my
Bathurst,
chat
ladies and
room?
gentlemen.
Uh,
We got
Michael
Brian.
Bathurst,
Look at
Brian,
this. Desiree.
Helga, Desiree. Hello, everybody. Welcome so much. If you are
Nice.
watching, make sure you say hello to us so that we know you are here.
Yes.
And I hope you guys have an awesome time with us tonight. C.S. Murphy, he's rocking it.
C.S.
He's doing
Murphy.
art while watching. TJ,
Oh,
how's it
that's the best
going?
way to do it right there. Yeah, man. Absolutely. So this is episode 6, and I am going to go. You ready to do our guest? Just get him right up in here.
Yes,
Well, this
please.
guy is truly a phenom when it comes to multitasking. I've seen this guy draw. I've seen this guy do sculpting. I've seen this guy do 3D printing. I've seen him do miniature model making. And if you catch it when the moon is just right, the dude is literally turning tables and scratching vinyl. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from regions and parts unknown in Colorado, Aurora, Colorado, that is, Mr. Chris Wigan, ladies and gentlemen. What's up,
Hey
buddy?
guys. Hey, welcome.
Hey,
Thank you.
welcome.
So
Yeah,
good to see
thanks.
you, man.
It's great to see you guys too. I'm gonna miss Carrie tonight, but you guys are great fill-ins for sure.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
So how are things in Colorado? Is the weather starting to change? Is the season starting to kick in up there? What's going on in
It
Colorado?
is, yeah, no, finally fall. There's actually been snow in the mountains the last couple nights, and I think we may get down to almost freezing tonight here in Denver. So,
Oh,
oh my
Wow.
gosh,
We
yeah, no,
finally
it's
have
coming quick.
some color on the trees and it's
Yeah,
Pablo,
gonna get that
page.
fall cold smell. You guys know what I'm talking about,
If
right?
we may pause for a moment, paging Peter Bednar, paging Peter Bednar, calling Peter Bednar, the one and only. Pablo, the fact that you brought that up,
What's up, Pablo?
I love you, man. I love you, Pablo. You know that, bro.
Chris Gale's in the
That's
chat
nice.
tonight.
Chris
Howdy.
Yeah.
Gales. Oh my gosh, man. Such a
Howdista.
talented human being that guy is.
Mm.
So, Chris, let's talk about this. We're going to be getting into a lot of peeling back some layers of the
Okay.
Wiegand if we can tonight. Just give us a little rundown of some backstory.
Yes.
What got you involved in the arts as a creative? I mean, you're doing all kinds of cool stuff. Where did it come from?
Yeah. Oh, it came from, I guess, birth. I don't know. Most artists, you grow up drawing, and then
Right.
in school, you get involved in all sorts of other things. But I kept drawing and really liked making models, even as a kid. I had my little fort set up and made things out of cardboard. So much so that I decided to go to architecture school because I enjoyed it so much. So
Oh,
I have a degree in architecture, and I went to Virginia Tech, which is a great school for multidisciplinary
Virginia
arts.
Tech. Nice.
Virginia Tech, the Hokies, go
Okay.
Hokies.
That's it, man.
That's
Yeah,
right.
our alma mater. I'm from Kentucky, University of
Hmm.
Kentucky. So they hold the Virginia Tech Kentucky thing all the time. You know how that works.
Yeah, the
But
Wildcats
oh yeah, man.
for sure.
Just wanted to pause right quick. Didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to say a
No
huge
worries.
shout out to Michael Murray and the Happs team and the Happs team again and Foamy. You
Hmm.
guys are rocking.
Yes.
Thank you so much for those
Thank you.
awards. We love you, man.
High
Appreciate
five.
Yeah,
it.
thanks.
So, architectural background. So, does that
Right.
mean at some point you did some architectural engineering and stuff like that, or?
So, yeah, what I was saying about Virginia Tech, the multidisciplinary arts, I learned a lot of art there, actually. I minored in art history. I did a lot of watercolor classes, photography classes, um,
Hi,
some
Tata.
printmaking classes, things like that. So, I actually got into more of the graphic design. And so, when I graduated, instead of being an architect, I got into graphic design and web design. And I did that probably for about 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
And yeah,
You did
during that
so.
time, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, just it was during the late '90s, and the dot-com bust kind of took me out there for a bit. So I started doing other things, and I wanted to get back into architecture. Actually, got into energy efficient home analysis, so like building
Wow.
performance stuff. So I was doing energy audits for homes, home inspections, that type of thing, and I still dabble in that as well. But yeah, during that whole time, I guess it's been about 10 years now, I got into 3D printing because I started modeling all this stuff and figuring out how to print it. I used to print it at
Wow.
a company called Shapeways, and then I got my own printers, I guess, a year and a half ago or so. I got some
Okay.
resin printers, so that kind of,
Resin.
yeah,
Nice.
launched me. Yeah, yeah, real good
I just
detail.
wanted to apologize
No
for
worries.
interrupting, but Stacy Bryuka for the $2 Squirrel Award, the Golden
Nice.
Squirrel.
Golden Squirrel
Thanks,
Award. What's up,
Stacy.
Stacy? Thank you
Another
so
friend
much.
of ours, the creative team of Stacy
Awesome.
Bryuka. Yeah. So, man, that's really crazy though. So all the many elements and facets that you've done, it just seems like from very on. Now, all this was in college, but did this stem from going back before college,
Hmm.
before, was there an artistic flair in your life? Was there something that was pouring into you as a kid
Um,
to kind of help
yeah.
this creativity spark blossom?
It was probably watching TV a lot. I watched a lot of TV like many of us did.
I'm a product
And
of
I
the 80s, bro. You're
right.
speaking
Yeah,
to me.
yeah, totally. So once we got a VCR, I actually started videotaping shows that I liked or just different shows, and then I would pause it and then I would draw the people in the shows. And so I was
Oh,
sitting there sketching the people, and that's how kind of I got into, I guess, the portrait part of it, or that aspect. But just the buildings itself, I played Dungeons and Dragons a ton, and a big part of
Nice.
that.
There you
Oh,
go.
I'm totally Dungeons and
oh
Dragons. I played it for about
man.
6 years. So I would make, all the maps, the modules, and then I would start making little buildings. I had all I had figures, so I was painting figures. So all this stuff has just been in my wheelhouse my whole life, and I just
That's
haven't
amazing,
let it
bro.
go. I haven't grown
Yeah.
up yet.
Well, honestly, for me, I'm on going on 42 next month, and there's something innate in me. I don't think I'll ever be
Thanks,
able to
yes.
grow up. You
Hmm.
you always hear the mantra, you got to get up, you get 20, you get out of the house, you got to be a man, you got to get a job, you got to do this, you got to do that, white picket fences. And I'm just
Gotta
like, no, no, not really.
now.
You can find your happily ever after and not be a part of the norm. And it sounds like to me, you kind of believe in that a little bit, that inner child.
Definitely.
It's almost that Walt Disney factor that
Hmm.
somewhere, it doesn't matter if you're 8 or 80, there's something innate in all of us that is the inner child that wants to really come forth and experience purity and love and joy. And for
Hmm.
me, I mean, it's comics and just 80s and retro. And I
Hmm.
think for you, that probably stems from similar sources, growing up and watching TV in the 80s and just getting entrapped in pop culture as a whole.
Right.
That's
Definitely.
awesome.
Shout out to CS for the Creative Genius
Look at
Award.
Yeah.
C.S.
Thanks, yes.
Murphy and another creative here in the house. What's up, Helen
That's
Wallace? How
right.
are you doing?
Oh, hi,
Growing old
Helen.
is
DJ
inevitable.
Opera and DJ
Yes.
DDK.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at
Oh,
this. I
and
love this
DJ
quote.
DDK. I think that's actually his wife, DJ's wife,
Ah.
DDK Debs. Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep. Yep.
DJ Extreme he's a real DJ. So yeah, if we
Oh,
get into the music
sweet.
part, you know, I
That's
don't consider
awesome.
myself a real, DJ. Not like he is. He's the man. That
Well,
guy.
man, I got to tell you, you can scratch some vinyl. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Hmm.
hold your own,
He's a
bro.
pro.
I ain't,
That's true. For
yeah.
me, I'm a basement DJ. Yeah, it's a hobby for me.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm a basement nerd. I don't know what that means. I wanted to say really quickly, Helen Wallace's quote is pretty awesome here, and I want to share this. Growing old is inevitable, but growing up is optional.
It's
I
very
really like
true.
that, Helen. Thank
I
you
like
so
that
much for
too.
Me
sharing that with
too.
us. I got to put that up on the screen there.
Thanks,
So,
Helen.
we've got the architectural school and we've got all the other things, and you were talking about pausing the TV to kind of start drawing some characters, whether they were cartoon or people or stuff
Right.
like that.
Hmm.
It sounds like to me that drawing and sketching and doodling kind of was one of your first leaps into the world of being a creative, right?
Yes, definitely,
So,
definitely.
if I'm not mistaken, you have some artwork that we're going to share here and kind
I
of
do. I do. I don't have any
okay,
drawings per se. There was a limit of how much stuff I could put up here. So
okay.
there's some paintings that I've put up here.
Well, let's
Yay,
let's
show
take
and
a
Some
tell
gander.
time.
Let's
Yeah.
take a gander at them. Which ones
All right.
do you want to start? Are they in order from
Um.
top to bottom? Is that the way you want them to go?
Kind of. I don't know. We could go through the. Here's actually this the one that says Art Two. I can pop that up. I don't know where you want
Okay.
that.
Yeah, yeah. Here, let's just make
Or do you
that
want to?
full screen for a moment,
Okay.
Yeah.
and we'll
Yeah.
look at this one.
It's
Ooh.
not a great photo. There's a reflection in there off the glass, but this is so in architecture school, this is the type of watercolor paintings that I would do, and this is a
Oh, this is
study where you see
watercolor.
this is watercolor. Yeah, it's all watercolor, and so it's a building. It's called the Bavinger House in Oklahoma, actually, Lindsay.
Woohoo.
Oh,
And yeah, it's a spiral stone building, and so I have three elements here, and the kind of the top left is the plan of the building, and then you've got a section down there on the bottom of it at a different
okay.
scale, and then you have a close up here on the right hand side of the stonework and the I guess
Wow.
the
Wow.
window that's there. So that
The,
this is the type of watercolor, and this is very
the
tedious, time
detail with the
consuming type. The
stones. Oh
detail
my
for sure.
Yeah,
goodness.
I
it
know
doesn't
all the
look
different
like
colors.
watercolor, bro. It does
I
No.
not
know,
look like water. This looks
right?
like more like acrylic or
Yeah, and
maybe
with
Yeah,
alcohol
the
markers or something.
gradient of the shadows that wrap
right.
around that. Oh my goodness, that's just
Yeah.
beautiful.
What I love
Thank
though
you.
is the perspective in which you did it. We've got the model in the middle, more of a
Hmm.
close up on the right, and
Hmm.
more of an in-depth architectural view in the spiral of the tree.
Right, of the
Mhm.
plan, and it's meant to be kind
Yeah,
of real organic, like the building itself. So yeah, that's the
that is
type of
really
stuff.
awesome, dude. So why
And so
watercolor?
watercolor it's definitely an architectural rendering technique,
Aha.
and obviously watercolor is easier than oil painting. Obviously, I have some oil paints here that I'm going to show you, oil
Okay.
paintings. But and then obviously acrylic is pretty basic as well. You can do a
Yeah.
lot pretty easily with acrylic.
That makes sense though.
Um,
When you're doing an architectural map design, it's easier
mhm.
just to splash some color, like a little bit of green on some shrubbery, That
Right.
makes sense, you know.
Right,
Right.
exactly. So you detail the building and stuff, and then everything else is kind of off to the side. And the other, I can bring up another one. So after college, I actually went to Europe for a while and traveled
Ooh,
around.
ooh, ooh.
And so this is of Rio Maggiore in Italy,
Cool.
and this is actually something I did sitting out live painting it. I had this little kit that I had made with a bunch of little, all my paints and brushes, and I was basically backpacking around Europe doing all sorts of these type of watercolor studies. And this is not very detailed. You can see the blocks and the colors of the buildings of the town, but this is the type of
That's
kind of
so
watercolors that I
beautiful.
did too. Thank you.
It does. It definitely has that, like, oh my gosh, like Rio de Janeiro, like, the colorful
The
buildings,
colors.
that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy cow, that's beautiful, bro.
Thanks.
And the way the sun is hitting the buildings and you're getting the shadow cast.
Right, and
Uh,
the lights and everything, yeah. And then I've got
exactly.
this little cutout here on the right where it's just like, since I'm doing this outside, I'm not going to do every single detail. And so I do this kind of where it just cuts out a silhouette of the building that was there, things like
That's so
that.
cool. That's so
What
cool,
is this
man.
Chris Wiegand for president?
Well, I mean, I think Tim Conrad is starting a
Yeah.
tribe here. He's starting a movement. I feel the rumblings deep down that there's something going on, but this is
Yes.
truly a beautiful piece. And I guess
Oh,
this
thanks.
is again watercolor, right? I can
It
definitely
is,
tell by
yes.
the
This is
okay.
watercolor. So these are some of my watercolors for sure. We can go to some of my let's see here. I've got some of my oil paintings that I've done, and one that
Yeah,
I'm
let's
actually
check them
not
out.
finished with. So this is a series of paintings that I did, and
Ooh,
these are kind of
chrysalis.
abstract, yeah, abstract nature type style. Here's
Dude, that's
another one
beautiful.
here.
It's so
I
weird
can,
that we're seeing a chrysalis. Hold on, let's just take a
right.
look at this for a second here. I want
Yeah, you want to?
to
Sorry,
make sure we get a
zoom
blow
in
up of
there.
this.
It's so
I
warm and glowy.
It is.
Yeah.
What is this painted on? It looks like wood.
No, it's a canvas, but there's a lot of texture to it. So this is an
Oh,
oil painting, and it's definitely when you get close to the chrysalis itself, it has a lot of texture. It has a lot of thickness to the
oh
paint.
man,
Yeah, chrysalis. Nice
that's
one.
amazing. Yeah, Chris,
Yeah.
I see what you did there, Ellen.
Chrysalis.
I like it. So,
So yeah,
what do I mean when you're preferring oil or watercolor? Is there one that you gravitate towards the most?
I would say watercolor, definitely
Watercolor.
watercolor. Yeah, I do that the most often. The oil paintings are few and far between recently, just because they're so time consuming and
Mhm.
it's hard I do a lot where I'll do a bit of color and then I'll wait and let it dry for a couple of weeks and then come back
You,
and go
yeah,
over it. I don't do wet on wet oil very well. I'm not that great at it. I mean, I've done some, but I
the
don't
Bob Ross
prefer it.
style. Where
Yeah, the
you
Bob
paint
Ross
the
style
whole
with the
thing
airbrush.
white, and then you just do the. There's a
Sure.
terminology for it. I
Just
can't
gonna add
remember
some
the.
fluffy happy trees and
But
Fluffy
I
type.
love the fact that you painted this chrysalis because I have a really interesting story. I was doing some housework today, and I looked out in my porch, and this massive polyphemus moth was on my porch, and this dude was 8.5-inch wingspan. If you're curious what he looked like, check my
Whoa.
Instagram.
yes, I saw
Uh,
Wow.
that guy. He's
um,
incredible.
but
That's
it's kind of
huge.
reminded me because he's got the dots. You can see the dots on the chrysalis. It kind of reminded me of
Oh,
the
okay.
dots on the wings.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like a moth chrysalis that you painted here. Is what I'm getting
Gotcha.
at. That's the point I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. Yeah. And if you look
Beautiful
close,
work.
it's actually based on a feminine form.
Oh,
Uh,
Yes,
almost
it
like
if you
is.
look
I love
closely at the
that.
details
I'm
of it, it's hard to probably to
I'm
see
seeing a
unless
little
you're on the
I'm
geiger in
computer
there,
there. But
definitely
bro.
seeing the female
yeah,
anatomy represented there.
for
That's
sure.
beautiful.
Yeah,
It kind of
it's really
reminds
Shout
me
out
good
of
to
at that.
Jim
H.R.
in
Geiger.
Chicago for the
He,
High Award.
Hey, Jim. Good to see you, Jim.
really quick, do you know the artist H.R. Geiger?
I do. Yep,
He kind
definitely.
of reminds me,
Aliens.
the creator of the Aliens, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but it kind of reminds me of that a little bit. Huge fan of Geiger's work and yours. So what else do we
Awesome.
have here?
Let's see. You want me to pop it up here? We've
Yeah,
got
man, do it.
another. You
Yeah.
can. This is actually part of the series. This is the second one that I've been painting,
Okay.
and I did this a few
Ooh.
months ago. So this is meant to be like the butterfly after the fact, and it's going to be there's going to be all these dimensions here where you see on the sides, there's a sun in the middle.
Wow.
The wings are going to actually show kind of a landscape. You're going to have trees and kind of
That's some
mountains
trippy
off to the
stuff, bro.
sides. So it's different. Yeah, one of the things I like to do is have people look at my paintings and see different layers, different levels. They'll see
Mhm.
one thing, as the overall picture, and then they'll go in closer and they'll see something else. Or that's the whole idea, is to see different things. This is actually going to be a boat in the center here that's going to have fishing rods coming out of
Oh,
it. They're going to look like the
Yeah.
antenna.
dude, I didn't even
So
notice a
yeah.
boat until you mentioned it. And then you
Right.
got the
No, so it's all
water.
just coming along a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I'm
So it's
seeing
all
like
kind of like,
a sunset in between the valley of two mountains with some trees on the
But
side.
yet
It's like my
it's
brain
a
is like
creature.
unraveling all of this
right.
visualness.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
so cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gotta add, with the blue and the color of blue that you chose here, it
Hmm.
reminds me a lot of like Native American artwork
Oh,
or
sure.
I'm
Hmm.
definitely
desert
getting those
vibes.
those vibes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like,
Definitely. Yep.
Arizona, Sedona,
Hmm.
Nevada.
Yep. For sure. Yeah. The
I
colors for
like
sure
that.
too. And I think that's a lot, I've traveled around the West quite a bit. So I'm inspired by a lot of what I see in nature.
Yeah. Me
So
too,
I like
man.
to do
I
these kind of
love it out
surreal
west,
nature.
especially where you live. You're so close to like some of the like Yellowstone and all
Oh,
those
yeah.
amazing
Hmm.
parks out there. So you
Right.
get to see some pretty cool stuff.
Right.
Um, so let's see here. Let me
And that,
find and let's take us down there and bring us. So what else do we have here
here's
in
another.
this
This is the
series of
last
trips?
painting. You want to do
Okay.
another full screen on that art painting too? The one that looks like,
Yep. Yep. You got it.
there it is. Yeah.
All right. Oh, look at
So now
this
this the
one.
third one. Yeah, this one I think you'll like a lot. This is the same, obviously the same kind of position, but this is later, and we've got a spider that could be
Wow.
a head with a necklace, and you can kind of see the arms if you look,
Yeah.
and the mountains, and then yeah. So this is kind of like, it's like a cycle series, a triptych, where it's like the chrysalis, and then you've got the life, and then this one's kind of more representing the death, and you can see the flower you
Is
know
yeah.
is less than perfect and starting to die away.
I
So
love
that's
the
kind of where I
fading,
was going with this.
the transition from the mountains to the foreground, background to
Oh, right
foreground
here.
is
Hmm.
yeah, the gradient is just beautiful getting to the
Thank
flower.
you. Yeah.
Very well
I,
done.
and I feel like I could do more in here probably at the bottom, but I've just kind of left it alone. This actually kind of reminds me of some of your work, some of those
Vector
great
stuff. Yeah.
vector ones that you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. It's
Yeah, a
interesting.
little bit,
And I
just
love the
in
fact
terms of
that
the
you're
concept.
using natural elements, actual living creatures to kind of bring forth the idea, and it kind of makes your mind and your eye look. You're seeing the obviously the spider, but there's a lot
Hmm.
more there if you allow your mind to see it,
Right,
and
right.
and that's what I'm getting from it. It's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
A mixture of the familiar with the surreal, with
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
tricky visuals is kind
that's
of what I'm
awesome.
going for with those, and what I like to do creatively with my paintings, I guess.
Yeah.
Helen has a question. Why is Chris never on the multi-artist drawing collabs? I think he needs to be a part of that.
Oh,
Um, Open invitation always, and I think
of course.
a while back I have drawn with Chris several times. I think
Yeah,
timing is everything in life.
it
I
is.
think we're more.
My you
Go
guys are
ahead.
the night owls in the evenings. Yeah, normally after I put the kids to bed, it's time to spend with my wife. So the
Very
evenings are kind
respectful.
of like
Yeah.
with the wife, and then I pretty much pass out and go to sleep too. So I used to be able to stay up till like 1 or 2, and those days are kind of gone now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we're especially on the late night vibe. I mean, I
Hmm.
get that. I mean, I'm a night owl by trade, and my wife is kind of the opposite of that. She goes to bed super early because she's a nurse. She's a registered nurse.
Hmm.
So when she goes to bed at 7:38 every night, I've got a lot of time to just to be a creative, to draw, to watch movies, to kind of dive into anything that I really
Right.
want to artistically, which is kind of fun. Um,
Yeah.
and so, but I get you on that. But
Yeah.
we should probably do some daytime art streaming, like with Bobby Bicker and stuff. But
Yes.
Yeah.
that way, everybody, including Chris,
Maybe
can
maybe
join in.
like we could find a day once a week we could do an afternoon thing.
Yeah, like at 2
or a
p.m.
midday,
Eastern
maybe a
or something.
lunchtime
Yeah,
art
Yeah.
thingy.
yeah,
Yeah,
art
exactly.
with
And that's kind
badges,
of
the lunch hour.
what I've done in the past. I've just been so busy recently, but I need to get back on it. Where I'm actually, if we want to move on to the 3D printing, one of the big things that's going on this summer is we're having a garage built, and inside that garage there's going to be a hobby room that is going to have my entire train layout. So it's a couple of weeks away still, where I'll be able to move that in. But basically, my little tiny workspace, I've got
Mhm.
modules of all this 3D train stuff that I work on. I'm going to have a huge space for it. I'm going to start broadcasting that a lot more out there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how do we go? Oh, we got the retro maker.
Oh, Retro
Dang.
Maker. Yeah, let's go
Real
to the
quick,
train.
one more question from the chat. Is that a vinyl record collection behind you, Chris?
It is. Yes, I'm sitting amongst my vinyl. It's actually behind me and below me on my my custom turntable table here set. I've got a whole bunch of shelves underneath it that have records as well. So
We're gonna give you guys a little taste of
Yeah,
that here in
let's do
just a
that.
little bit. So
Let's see
hang
all these
tight.
records. Oh my gosh!
Oh, yeah.
Now I see
Yeah.
the
So
record
there's a
collection.
tower. Yeah, there's a tower over here, and then I've got a couple crates over here, the old school crates. I got my old school hip hop
Yeah.
over here. I got my drum and bass here. I've got the tower of records here, and then below
boy.
me,
How many
got-
albums?
How many albums do you have?
Approximately.
it's approximately 1,000.
What?
Yeah, approximately. I don't know exactly, but it's somewhere there.
Dude, that's impressive.
Yeah, no, it took me about 10 years to do it. I was just talking to Michael Bathurst, and he used to get like 5,000 records at a time when he was a DJ. So I just don't have the space for that kind of stuff.
I wish. Yeah, I need a really. We're going to need a bigger house. You
That's
know,
why I'm
if-
building a garage.
I mean, I would love to have. I'm getting back into vinyl. I'm getting ready to invest some good money in a good turntable.
Oh,
not
nice.
not to scratch or anything like that, but just to put on some stuff in the background, for some vibe in the house.
Uh-huh. Sure.
And so, but it's so interesting. So explain to me. We're going from hand drawn, and
Mhm.
now is it model making? Is that what we're?
So it's the model making. So yeah. So the other thing that I'm a real computer. I was a graphic designer, web designer. I started using SketchUp and AutoCAD years and years
Did
ago.
you use CAD? Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned a little bit of CAD. I never used it professionally, but I gravitated more towards SketchUp because it was easier in terms of 3D modeling. So that's really pretty much. Oh, hey, there's Carrie.
There's
Yeah.
Carrie's
Carrie.
checking
Nice.
in
Hi,
on
Carrie.
us. Hello,
Carrie.
lovely Carrie.
Your show is going well, Carrie. It's
Yes.
all
We
good.
haven't broken anything yet.
Wait, no. Troy's still alive over there. I see him.
Yeah.
Troy's still kicking and breathing.
Troy, you good over
I
there?
wore a red lip in your honor.
Okay. All right,
So
let's check in on Troy. Let's do a Troy check. Troy,
Troy
say
check
hello.
in.
Say hello, Troy.
Hello, Troy.
Hi, Troy. There he is.
Here, let's pop in.
Yeah. Hop in, say hello.
Look, he's got all
he
the
is.
fancy stuff here.
Look at that stud. Oh my, he's got the whole.
Look, I'm
the
gonna make him
QR
big just
code.
because he can.
Yeah.
Look at all this goodness he's got
Wow.
going on here.
He's
It's
got
like
a scroller, a QR
love
code.
right now.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow, you got nerdy with OBS there.
Yeah.
No,
I need to.
I don't
That's
see
the thing that I need to keep working on is my OBS.
Straight from Carrie to Lindsay. Love the red lips. There
Nice.
you go. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about model making.
Right.
And then we're going to go in, you guys. I hope you guys are strapped in for this because in about 10 minutes, you guys are going to be mind blown what's going to happen here. But
I'm already excited.
I know I'm
currently-
like really stoked as we
Oh,
speak.
don't pump it up too much. It gets me nervous.
Oh gosh,
I'm gonna pump it up
it's mediocre
Pump it up.
in the world of
Pump it up.
coolness.
So let's talk a little bit about your model making. Do you want to talk
Great.
about the miniatures that you make? Or
Yeah,
the
definitely. The miniatures for sure. So what got me into it was miniature train layouts. As a kid, I also had a train layout and was building, cardboard models, not very good models of it, but I did that for a while. And then about 10 years ago, I was at a client's house and they had a Z-scale layout, which is the tiny, 1/300th scale, and I was just blown away by it, by the detail, by what you could do with it, how much you could create in a small amount of space. So I started looking into it, and I found that basically N scale is 1/160th scale of
Mhm.
real life. Oh, no crackle. Okay. And so I started doing things in N scale, and I started creating buildings, little miniature cars. I've got here. This is kind of like an
Oh
example.
my
This thing is
gosh.
super tiny. It's about the height of a dime, I'd say. It's probably about 25 millimeters tall. And so this is like a newspaper stand that exists somewhere in Italy. My whole layout is an Italian layout. So I started finding all these different things that I wanted to recreate and build.
Well,
So
now,
I would
how
model
tall did you
this.
say this was, Chris?
It's like 25 millimeters. It's basically like
It's
less than
super
an inch
tiny.
tall. It's super tiny. Yeah.
Super
Super
tiny.
The
tiny.
detail.
The detail. Yeah. No, I know. And
How
like,
the heck did you
if
get
you get
that much?
even closer, well, that's the thing is I build the thing in regular scale, and then I shrink it down. With
That's
SketchUp,
incredible.
I scale it down to whatever size. But when I'm creating it, I have to think about what size those elements are going to be at, because I don't want to make them too small that they disappear or whatever. But with a resin printer, you can get such detail that's like 0.02 millimeter layers. So basically, the detail is just incredible. Um,
Thank you,
Here's another
Gary.
one. This is a facade of a church that I'm working on.
Oh
The
my
back of the
God.
church I still need to create, or still need to print out, but it's kind of intense. It's got a lot of stonework. It's got a tile roof. It's got towers with bells and everything. So I'm working on that, but I haven't printed that out yet. But this is the
So
type of
so you print in
work.
resin, and then you have to
Right.
do you do the acetone bath with it, and then
Yeah. Right.
yeah, and clean it
Yeah,
up and
you have to clean it up, because basically it comes out and it's a little bit soft and it's dripping with the resin, which is toxic.
right.
So
Yeah,
you've
oh
got to
yeah.
get as much resin off, and you dip it in the alcohol, take it out. I actually use a jewelry cleaner that has
Oh
the
yeah.
high speed kind of like
Nail polish stuff, yeah.
nail. Yeah, exactly. So that helps to kind of clear it off, and then it goes under a UV light, and that helps to
Ooh.
cure it. So that hardens it. You don't want to leave it there too long, or else it'll make it real brittle and cracky.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like a 2-minute deal there. But
Dude,
so yeah, so that's kind of
the amount of detail that you can get in something so small. Now,
right.
let me ask you something, Chris.
Hmm.
This is a passion. I don't know if it's a guy thing or just a childhood thing, but I was always fascinated by model trains and trains in particular. Um, and
Yeah,
from
trains are
that
rad.
stemmed this, whole idea of creating these little mini villages and these little mini towns.
Hmm.
What was the driver for you to do these kind of model towns like this?
I think it was really my trip to Europe when I was backpacking for 3 months. I had the Eurail pass, so I was traveling by train, throughout
Mm,
Spain, Portugal, France, and Italy mostly. And I just fell in love with traveling by train in Europe, and the train stations and just the character of Italy itself just kind of blew me away.
that's so
So I
beautiful.
kind of wanted to recreate my own little Italian paradise in a small scale, and this is what I'm doing basically. And this what you're seeing here is just a module that's like 2 feet by 4 feet, and eventually I'll have 5 of those put together, so it'll be a 4 foot by 10 foot.
And this is in
um,
your garage?
it will be. Right now it's in my
Wow.
basement, in my little work area, and I have
Thank
the
you
other
for the
ones
high
kind of
five,
planned
whoever
out.
offered.
That's so
Thanks.
beautiful, bro. And
Yeah.
and do you have a working train going around the village?
Not yet. So since
Not
it's
yet. Okay.
modules, you can see the train kind of in the foreground, but
I do, yeah.
it's I can move it back and forth. But yeah, no, there's not a loop yet, because I've got to put them all together. And that's
Right.
why
You're
I'm
doing it.
excited about this garage. I mean, I've been basically working on this, all the different aspects of this layout for about 5 years. And hopefully in the next month, I'm going to actually start getting it set up.
Oh
I
my
have all the
gosh.
little pieces kind of in boxes, and that type of stuff. So you guys will be seeing that on Happs. That's what I
I
plan
can't wait,
on
bro.
showing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
But
the exciting part.
the cool thing about this, though, you're doing it in increments, and
Mhm.
obviously it's time consuming as all
Yes.
get out. I mean, but just the details on the leaves of the trees, right down to the bricks and the pebbles and the
Right.
cobblestone streets and even the shingles on the roof. And dude, it's just whoa,
Yeah, thanks. No,
crazy.
it's yeah, I love it. I love the idea of creating these miniature worlds basically that are
How,
very
how long does
realistic
it take
looking.
to print one of those pieces?
That's a good point. So it depends on how it's oriented on. I can show you actually my printer that's got something in here. Here's the full screen. So depending on the height of the
Oh,
print, so
Okay.
basically there's a plate that dips down into the resin,
I
and
see
underneath
it.
the resin there's a screen that shoots up ultraviolet light in the pattern that you want it to be. And so it goes down, it shoots that light, it hardens it, and then it lifts it up, and then it goes
That's
down and
so
creates another
cool.
layer. So when you're done, you've got this model you can see is actually it's a train car, a car carrier train car, but
Uh-huh.
it has all the supports and everything. So you have to put all these supports in. You've got to think about how the resin's going to drain properly. You don't want the resin to get captured. So there's a lot of intricacies into resin 3D printing that have taken a while to learn.
This is a lot different from the regular 3D printing that I know, which you're using plastic spool, and you're
Right.
just, this resin is
It's a different
totally,
process.
it's a whole new beast, and it's
Hmm.
something I'm not really familiar with. And so I'm learning a great deal here tonight as well. And I didn't understand that there was so much overhead involved in resin printing. Like you were just saying, you have to know the drainage, you have to know how
Oh,
much
right.
light. I mean, it's just mind
Hmm.
blowing, dude.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. And you've got to tweak it. Like with a print, normally the first print doesn't turn out very well. You've got to kind of turn it a little bit, or you've got to change the timing in terms of how long the plate stay, that the light hits the plate so that it sticks, so that it doesn't start peeling off. There's a lot of different aspects to it, the 3D printing. And I use an Elegoo Mars printer.
Mhm.
I've got three of them now, actually. Um,
Jeez,
yeah, well, they're actually really inexpensive now. I think I got this one for $250 originally, and now they go
that's actually
used
not
for
bad.
like, yeah, $150 or so.
That's
And the
really not
resins,
bad at all.
no, they used to be like $2,000,
Yeah, I
two to five
remember whenever
thousand
they first came
dollars.
out, they were like way
Oh
up
yeah.
there. It's a big deal.
That's so rad, dude. I mean, and so this is how this village is coming together, is through the resin printing. And
Yes.
each roof, each structure
Hmm.
is dipped in acetone, is polished, is cleaned up,
Right.
is refined, is
Yep.
painted, and then
It's painted. Yep.
repainted.
Right. No, it's
Dude,
definitely a process for sure. Yeah. And so the entire layout, some of the layout though, has existing buildings that you can buy, from old kits or whatever, and you can change them. But there just isn't that much out there for Italian style. That's why I'm creating it. But I also do things that are like here. If you go full screen on this guy here, go full screen.
whoa.
So I'll take
Wow.
buildings like this, which are, you can buy these buildings from old kits. Actually, the one in the middle is custom made. But then I go in and I make these little blocks, where I have the buildings, and then I put all sorts of details on them. I put advertising, that type of stuff. I also
That
do little
is
houses.
mind blowing, bro.
Yeah, the
I
little
mean,
houses here. So like these little, you take a house here, and then you
This is
create the whole like
phenomenal.
plot with the yard and everything. And let me show you a detail of the
ha-
back.
are the trees pre-manufactured, or is that something that you
No, I
do?
make those. Yeah, those are
Oh,
it's
Really?
wire. Yeah, it's wire, and then you get the leaves are basically just this flocking that you just kind of stick on there.
wait,
But you can custom
whoa.
make trees.
I'm mind blown here for a minute.
Yeah,
So the trunk of the tree is wire,
is wire like on this
and it
back one. Hmm.
and it's is there something over it to give it the wood texture, or is it just painted to give it the
Yeah,
wood effect?
yeah, you paint it over top
Okay.
of it. Yeah, and give it some
All right.
texture. Hmm.
Elephant in the room. How do you do the leaves? The
So yeah,
foliage.
the leaves they come in packages, and you just take off pieces of them and you stick them to the armatures of the tree itself. You spray glue them, and then you stick them in there, and then
Good
you have to spray them
grief.
again. And you can go in and detail the trees. I have one that actually put little apple, like an apple tree, and I put tiny, tiny little beads in it to represent the apples.
Dude, you know
Things
how
like that.
ridiculous awesome that is?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's why I do it. I really enjoy doing it. It's so cool to create. And you can see here, I've got this little like laundry line, and a little girl helping her
Look
mom put laundry
look
up
at
and
the
stuff.
brick texture on the bottom of the house.
Yeah, well, so the house itself is something I didn't make. That's something
Yeah.
that exists. But yeah, no, the
Okay.
detail on these are great. I repaint them and make them. So with a regular plastic model that you get, it looks like a plastic model until you paint
Un-
it
Until you
completely, and
bring
then
it
you
to
can go in
life.
and weather it too. Then you put in all the little, the dirt spots and everything. You do washes, basically different alcohol washes with blacks or browns to
Right.
actually make it look real. So it doesn't look like
That's
just a little
incredible.
cheap plastic
Now,
thing.
really quick,
Hmm.
what is the base, the foundation for these blocks? I see it's like a really
It's
is
yeah,
it
it's
plywood?
foam.
It's
It's foam
foam.
Foam.
core. It's
Okay.
foam core. Yeah,
I
it's
got you.
black foam that I peel the paper off and just use the foam itself. Because once
Oh,
you get to
okay.
that foam, you can go in and detail like these curves here on the front. I can go in and make little lines and little cracks or what have you. You can't really see a lot of detail on
That's
this, but
brilliant, dude.
this is three of them put together in like a little neighborhood.
3 blocks put together. Look at
Mhm.
Now,
that.
I
So
remember
that's the idea
seeing
then.
at one
Mhm.
point that you had made a drive-in movie theater, and the movie
Oh,
theater screen was actually made for a mobile phone.
What?
right. Yeah, I didn't actually. I didn't put a picture of that up. I've got a. It's a TV. So yeah, we can move on to that then. So one of the most recent things that I'm doing now is the whole retro maker thing. So besides doing all these cool train miniatures and all that stuff, I also started doing things like Foamy's boombox.
Yes.
The boombox. So I started
What?
recreating old like different media devices. I've got an old TV from the 1960s that I've done where you can slide your phone in and watch shows or movies or whatever on the little TV, and your phone slips right in it. And now with these boom boxes, I'm getting them designed so that I can put little miniature Bluetooth speakers in them.
That is
So,
so cool.
right. So actually, yeah, I'm in the midst of trying to get those on my Etsy site. I've
Dude,
got little miniature ones of them, but
so this yeah, you got one in your hand here too that you're holding.
mhm.
Hold on. Let's so this
This
is
one I've
actual
got the
to
thing.
scale right here.
Well, yeah, it's small. This is half the
Yeah.
size of Foamy's, but it's got a top that comes off. It looked kind of blurry here,
No,
and then there's a
you're good.
It's
good.
fine.
There's a Bluetooth speaker that
A
slides.
JBL. Look at that. It just
Yeah,
goes
slides
in
right
there.
in there, and then you put the top on there. And the third piece on this one is the handle. So you've got a handle up
what
here,
holds it in.
and
That is
yeah. So my
amazing.
grill broke on this side. I got to fix that.
I gotcha.
But yeah, it definitely plays, and it's a
That
So
little
if
is
you
mini
had a
so
Bluetooth
boombox.
speaker that
cute.
had like LED lights in it or whatever, it would show
Right,
through the grate in the speaker
it
holes.
does.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be so cool.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Chris,
So I
that is
started,
freaking awesome, bro.
yeah. So that's what this whole retro maker is. My Etsy page is. I sell a lot of the models, the train models, on eBay, but then I just set up this Etsy site to start selling these. I do little miniature tapes. I'm planning on doing miniature turntables, miniature old style radios. Like from the 30s and 40s, which I also like a lot. I like old
Oh my gosh. You
radios,
should
things
do a
like
like
that.
miniature Walkman.
Yeah. No, totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Seriously, man.
I
That'd be like
it's
rad.
it's on it's on my list. It's on my list for sure.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that's the whole idea with the retro maker is to start making these, classic
Well, you're
media.
talking about the retro maker. How can we
Mhm,
find you? How can if people want to order the mini boombox or something,
mhm.
where can we
It's
find
not
you?
up there yet, but there's a
Okay.
mini version that doesn't actually play music yet. That's half the size of that I've printed
Okay.
off. But yeah, it's a retro maker on
Okay.
Etsy. So if you go
Okay.
onto Etsy and just search retro maker, it's etsy.com/shop/retromaker.
Okay.
Cool.
And that's definitely your
And
store. So that's
yeah,
amazing, dude.
and I'll be definitely putting more stuff in that over the next couple weeks or so.
We got a really cool question here from Desiree. Have you ever
Yeah.
done an 80s neighborhood like with break dancing and block
Oh,
parties and
Oh,
stuff
that
there
would
like
be
you
such
go.
a cool idea. I would love
That
to
would be
see
a
that
great
come
idea.
you
come
know,
to
like
life.
Uh-huh.
yeah, that
For
would be neat.
sure.
The old
That would
80s
be fun.
car, maybe like a DeLorean, kind of parked on
There
the
you
curb.
go. I could do it. I could definitely do it. Those kind of things inspire me. See, the problem is I get all these ideas and there's so many that I want to do that I get like overloaded
You know what'd
with
be
all the
cool
different
is if you did
projects.
like a street that was like a walk through the decades. So like you would have
Oh, yeah.
a house that was one
Oh,
decade, and then you would like move through the decades like down the street.
Yeah,
yeah.
That would be so fun.
that would be cool. Yeah, that
With the
would be really
miniature
cool.
Joseph Burke breakdancing.
Yes,
Dude,
you
There
let me
you
have
tell you
to have a
go.
little
something. If you
Joseph,
ever
a
see me
little
break dance,
Joey sitting in the
that's
street.
not going to be good for nobody. I will probably break something. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I'll spin around in my chair, and that's about as close as you're going to get to seeing Joe move. I don't have moves like Jagger, unfortunately.
Aw.
So are
Um,
those pieces that you make, Chris, are they like for, let's say, Barbies, or are they a little bigger
They
than
could
Barbie?
be. No, the very smallest one, the mini retro. Here's a I don't know if there's a delay here or not.
That's
The
just
little
like
mini retro one definitely could be for Barbies, or for like the bigger ones could be like for American Girl doll, I guess.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
the taller ones. I haven't
Wow.
marketed them that way, but definitely for like
Oh,
doll
you
houses.
would
There's a
get
big on Etsy. There's a huge thing for dollhouse
that's where you should put
accessories.
some of that.
slap that
Yeah,
in your beta tags, and you'll
right.
get some.
It's not really what
Well,
I'm thinking when I'm making them, but you know,
well,
however people want to use them.
we've actually have gotten to the 45-minute mark.
All right.
Now,
Nice.
you know, I think it's time, Chris.
All
I
right.
think
I like it.
these
Is it time
people
to
need to
unleash the beast?
experience all that is
Yeah.
this weekend.
All it is. The next
The
phase,
next
my most
layer
recent
must be
phase.
peeled back.
Take me to the next level, baby.
All right. So the
All
next
right.
layer.
Up.
So we've been talking about all of his amazing artistry, and I know Lindsay and I are just sitting here jaw dropped because if you're
My
any
brain is
kind of
marinating in all of this goodness.
my brain melted when he showed me all the details of his models.
That's what
It's
that
just
smell is in the studio. I was wondering.
yeah, it's probably a little sulfur. I had never mind. But for the lack of a matter, I mean, it's just really amazing, Chris, to actually. I knew you did all of this, but hearing the process and the heart behind what you do is truly amazing, man. And I got to give you
Thank you.
hats off to you. But we've seen some elements. Now we're going to see another element. We're going to see Chris drop some vinyl for us and scratch and do what he does. Now, you want to give us a little introduction on what you're doing or setup? Or
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I just got some of my vinyl out. One of the, I guess, genres of vinyl or music that got me really into getting the turntables was funk.
Okay.
I like funk and hip hop and the kind of the merging of the two. The first set I've got is mostly funk, and then we'll stop that after a little bit, and then we'll chat about it for a while, and then I'll finish off with some other stuff.
Okay.
Got some other hip hop and some other beats going. But yeah, it's
Sounds
definitely
good.
it's a lot of the stuff I play is not. I'm not like the DJ that you'd be like in the club where people are recognizing all the songs. You know, I have some of that, but
hmm
a lot of it is just beats and stuff that you've never heard before.
Amazing. Well, dude, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to
All
let
right.
you do what you do, and we're going to rock and roll and let you do that thing that you do, man.
Great. All right. I'm going to put my my laptop here on mute and then get my phone hooked up to the turntables.
Oh yeah, look at that.
All right, let's do a little test here.
You got it, man.
You got me?
You good, bro? Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only
Chris Wiegand.
You may have heard of New Orleans flips. You may have heard of Chicago style. You may have heard of all kinds of jazz, jumping the wildest and the most insane. You may have heard of many musical insane flips, but you studs and stylists and cats and kiddies never dug any session like these cats blue.
If you guys are liking what you're hearing, let's see some emojis in the chat.
To the cool groove of liberty, sense is the A slick. And all the studs, kicks, cats, and kitties, red, white, all blue, is created level in front. We can hear it, but we can't touch it. We can hear it, a wild, mad beat. Dug him before, dig him now. And when they dig, there is now 16 sounds.
Elliot Arch with Scream of the Week Award. Let's go.
Baby!
And the Super Quad Award.
When I want like sex machine. Give me now. Go go. Baby. 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 When you see me coming.
It's that Happy Night Award and Gate Award. You guys are rock stars.
When you see me coming, hold your head up high. And baby, dry my eyes. Ain't a monkey now. Ha! Baby! Give it up. Turn it loose. Get on you. Like the sheep. Come on. Baby!
Like sex, it talks like sex, it's just like sex.
is a DJ if you can't scratch? What is an MC if you can't rap? What is a beat without a live clap? Well, I can do it all, baby, just like that.
What do you want for nothing?
I'm the one and only dominator.
I feel the bass. Come on, jump.
DJ spinning, I said, my, flash is back, flash is back, flash is fast, flash is cool, Francois, c'est pas, flash ain't no do.
He say 1 for the trouble, 2 for the time. Come on, girls, let's rock that.
Cut faster! Grandmaster! Cut faster! Grandmaster! Cut faster! Grandmaster! Grandmaster! Cut faster!
Why don't you tell me a story? Please tell me a story too.
You know, I think I'll tell you the story of my life.
You tell me. I want to hear too.
I was born in Animus, North Dakota, a long time ago, see? And now I'm lucky enough to be here with you.
Yeah, but what happened to the tree? Yeah, what else happened?
Well, it went pretty much like this.
Yeah.
Chris Vegan.
There we go. There's a good stopping point.
Oh
Oh
my goodness, that
What's
was
up?
amazing.
gosh,
How
what
you guys liking that?
just
That was awesome.
happened, dude? Oh my
Whew.
gosh, I don't even know where to. Wow, what just happened, bro? That was ridiculous. Lindsay, get in here. What are you doing now?
Hold
Come
on.
on.
I didn't want to overclick buttons.
Wow, dude, I didn't want it to stop. Like,
Oh my gosh, we could do that all night
seriously.
long. That was amazing.
Dude, you
gotcha.
like the vibes, bro. You're not just a dude or a creative. You're a freaking vibe, bro.
Yeah, it's fun. This is what I do to like really get it out there.
Heck yeah, you do. Work up a little sweat, I bet.
Oh yeah, for sure. Or
Oh man,
sometimes.
if you're in the chat right now, throw up some hearts for our boy Chris Wiegand here, man.
Heck
Let
yes.
him know that you appreciate him and love him, because he is just literally throwing it down here tonight on Happsstars. And I just want to take a moment. Let's bring Troy in here right quick,
All
and we're
right.
going to talk and we're going to share some love from some people that are just amazing individuals that believe in what we're doing here on Happsstars. And Troy, we got some pretty awesome sponsors that we definitely want to mention right now, don't we?
Yes, we do. So I want to mention our first sponsor, which was Michelle Alexander, and she's part of the art community, which you and Joe and Lindsay know very well.
Oh yeah,
Thank
Then
you,
we have,
Michelle.
we love you, Michelle.
yeah. And then we have Chris Gales.
The amazing Chris Gales.
Gales,
Rocking the love for the Happsstars.
Which everybody knows.
Wait, should I
and
do a
loves.
Carrie thing? Wee!
Yes.
I felt like I needed to do that at least once tonight.
And then we have, do you remember who else there, Joe?
Oh well, yeah, I do remember Miss Desiree.
Ella.
Is it Ella?
Ella,
Okay.
Ella, my bunny Valentine.
My bunny.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Ella, I mean, me and Lindsay's just kind of rocking. Lindsay's got three.
I
There's
do have three. I
hidden-
have a bunny herd behind me.
There's bunnies everywhere, thanks to Ella, my bunny Valentine.
Yes.
And we love her to death. I love you, Ella.
And I have a
And-
signature piece. This
Oh.
is. Oh,
It's the Badges one. Look at that.
It's the Badges bunny because of we match.
Of yeah. It's you as a bunny.
It's my favorite.
Man, I just want to say, man, our sponsors, thank you guys so much for believing in us here at Happsstars, and believing in us enough to bring you this good content that we produce every week here. That Carrie and Troy and the team here put together. I'm just a face. I'm a guy on a screen that just gets to have these conversations. And Lindsay, I'm sure you feel the same way. But the meat and
It's a complete
potatoes
honor
of
to be
this,
here.
yeah, the meat and potatoes of this is definitely Troy and Carrie. This is.
Yes, they are
Their
the
baby.
children.
This is their brainchild.
It's their baby.
It's definitely a huge blessing to be a part of this, Troy. I want you to know that.
So thank you for
so-
all the support, the sponsors, the awards you guys drop every night. Everything goes back into this show and just makes it greater and better for you guys every single week.
It does.
And there's a QR code that's next to me. If anybody needs to, they can, instead of going to happstars.tv, they can just put their phone up to it and it takes them right to happstars.tv.
Absolutely. So there's the QR code. If you're watching on the live or on the replay, you can scan that and go directly to our website. And if you got any questions or comments, you can always do it old school style. You can info@happsstars.tv.
And I believe Ella has given you guys a QR code, correct, for her stuff on her site. You get 15%
it's all
off.
lowercase. It's all
All
lowercase.
Happsstars 15.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys use that when you check out, it'll let her know that you guys found out from this broadcast, and she'll maybe throw you an extra goodie in there.
So if you want these cool, I mean, these things are cool. This one's a Bluetooth speaker, which is kind of cool. But go to mybunnyvalentine.com, Happsstars15, and you will get 15% off your order. So our amazing sponsors, we love you and we thank
you, Shirley
for
Baker,
all
for
that you
the
do.
Happs hug.
Oh my gosh, this has been so good. So, Troy, did I leave anything out?
No, we're gonna do one more set. Is that what I understood, Chris?
We're going to
Yeah.
chit chat for a minute, and then I'm
sure.
going to
Yeah,
let
we'll
this
chat
guy
for a bit.
bust loose. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Shout out to Hollywood Polo over on YouTube. What's up?
What is up, Hollywood
Thanks for hanging out with
Polo
us tonight.
on the YouTubes? All right, good stuff. Troy, I'm going to drop you down for a second here, but all righty, you sexy beast, you. All right,
Oh
there
my
you go.
goodness.
Good, yeah. So
Nice.
I'm hearing some old school stuff in there, man. Like I'm hearing some old school R&B, some hip hop, a little funk mixed in there. Is that the music that you grew up on listening to?
No, it's not the music I grew up on listening to for
Okay.
sure. No, definitely
Okay.
not.
Let's
Yeah,
dive into that for a second.
sure. Yeah, no, I grew up, listening to classic rock as a kid, and then I think about 1983 it was the Grammys. I saw DJ DXT for Herbie Hancock's Rocket on the
Herbie
stage.
Hancock.
Yeah,
Oh,
for Rocket, and that like just changed everything for me. I was just like, "What? What is this? What?" So I started getting into hip hop. I was in Rochester, New York, and there was this great radio station that every Saturday night they would play really cool DJ sets. So I listened to that, and I listened to classic rock still and all the rest of it. I like basically all sorts of music, all types of music, world music, reggae. I've got a ton of reggae. I'm a huge reggae fan.
I've heard your reggae sets before. They're really a good time.
Yeah, no, I learned a lot. In the 90s, I had DJ friends that turned me on to all sorts of stuff that I had never heard before. And, everything was new, as you're experiencing it. So definitely went through that phase of like the rave culture, a lot of that type of stuff, a lot of electronic music. But yeah, electronic music mixed with hip hop would be kind of where I was at. And then when I started collecting vinyl, I got back into funk. I started listening to a lot of the new funk. There's a band called the New Master Sounds over in England. There's a huge new funk movement that kind of got me into that. The Bamboos out of Australia. So I just, anything that gets you kind of moving, that's got the beat, and the beats, and then you hear all the stuff in other songs, especially in hip hop, you hear all the samples. And then, I started collecting old jazz records to get the samples, and just, I love jazz to start with. I used to listen to old timey 1930s jazz when I was a little kid.
Whoa.
On an old radio. I loved it.
That's
so yeah,
amazing.
definitely, it's just like a huge melting pot of music influences that I've experienced over the years, and lots of live music. I actually worked for a ticketing company for about 5 years, and got to see a lot of shows, a lot of
That's
live
amazing.
music.
So from classic rock and all of that straight into jazz and funk and hip hop and R&B. I mean, I'm telling you, man, such
and the synth stuff too.
Dude,
the last couple of years, I've been getting into the synth wave big time. I don't have any records, but that's what I like.
Guilty
to listen
pleasure, right there. You're talking my language now.
Totally.
I would love to hear, like in the future, one night, and you have to tag me when you do it. But I would love to hear a Chris Wiegand synthwave set.
That would be amazing.
Baller.
I've got a couple that have some awesome like Blade Runner samples on them and stuff. Yeah.
Please tag us in that. That's
seriously, I will.
A little Beetlejuice in there every once in a while, maybe, little Hal Night. I don't know, man. You just have fun with
for sure.
But, it's
I like
funny,
that
though.
idea.
You're talking about jazz and the jazz orchestra vibe and that kind of stuff. It wasn't, I grew up in kind of this Appalachian environment. I mean, really all I heard was country and then gospel music. I mean, that's all I knew growing up. And so there was this like soulful sound to a lot of the music that I heard. I didn't really understand nor appreciate jazz until a lot later when I became a disc jockey myself on an FM station. And that's when I really started diving into the Nina Simone's, Duke Ellington's, and really developing this deep appreciation for jazz. It is seriously a vibe within its own. And to understand jazz and the evolvement of jazz, you have to go back to the source material, the guys that brought it forward, like you said in the 20s and 30s.
Oh yeah.
That vibe, that what do you call it, big band sound,
Right.
Just love that vibe, the old school sound, and I love that you bring that out in your work and your DJing too. That's truly amazing. Is there any artists, whether it's jazz orchestra, or anything like, is there any artist that you gravitate to?
Not specifically, no.
Okay.
No, I mean, I like so many, it would be hard to like define one, and it depends. There's some things that I like to listen to, just for certain reasons, or to see live in concerts, or if I'm DJing. So it's all like, there's so many. And the biggest thing is I love just new music too. I'm constantly listening to new music and,
That's
finding new
awesome.
artists. And I really like that too. I'm constantly on it.
Quick question.
Sure.
Do you record your sets for later listening?
No, I haven't. I've done it in the past, a long time ago, but yeah, no, I
Like a
just usually just have
SoundCloud account
fun.
or something?
I haven't done that yet. No, like
Okay.
mixes up to a SoundCloud.
That
But
last set you just rocked, bro. That was a good 20
yeah,
minutes. I mean,
I
there
can
were a
see
few
myself
little
doing art to that
hiccups in there.
for sure.
Yeah,
I'm a
it was
little
so.
like under pressure. I feel like, it's not like I'm just flowing like usual, but pretty good.
Dude, you're just talking to a hillbilly and an Okie right now. There's no pressure
It's
at
true.
all.
Sounds good.
It's true.
Seriously, there's no.
No, not you
there's,
guys. It's just for me to mix well.
well, if you think you're not mixing well, dude, I'm telling you,
You had us fooled.
you had
Yeah,
me
there you
fooled,
go.
bro. I don't know what's going on in that head of yours, but it's pretty
Thanks.
awesome. I kind of want to live there for a little while and see what goes on. But so we've done music, we've done modeling, we've done artistry. Is there any creative outlet that you've not done that you really want to learn, you want to tackle, you want to know about?
Maybe sculpture, like
Not
pottery or
surprised.
sculpture. That's something that I have not done in any kind of scale whatsoever.
I think you would rock that since you're so into the 3D space mindset.
Right.
You would just
Yeah.
blow that out of the park. Yeah, you would just.
I
rock
get that vibe, Lindsay.
Yeah, with the spatial stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Have you ever
But yeah, that would
experimented
be
like
one.
3D modeling, like any kind of like,
Yeah.
kind of like what
Well,
CS does?
the other stuff that I do, I don't know if you guys have seen, but I like to do these late night movie nights too, where I do a bunch of video mashups of like old. I love that stuff, old retro commercials and
Oh, I loved the
shows and
commercial night you
movies
did.
and all
I had
that
that
stuff.
on, and it was so fun to see all of those. And I don't even know, where did you find all of those?
Oh,
It was
archive,
a long.
archive.org. Everything's on
Oh
archive.org.
my gosh,
That's
that was
ridiculous.
that was a magical night.
It's fun. I'm planning more too, so stay tuned.
Truly amazing, man, at what you do. And
Thanks.
I want to make sure we allow enough time because
All right.
we have another surprise for our amazing audience and viewers out there. Chris is going to come back here in a moment and close us out on a second set.
Heck
guys.
yes.
He is going to rock the mic and he's going to drop it. But before we do so, I want to ask, do you have any websites or socials or anything that you want to promote or plug so people can connect with you?
I guess just the Etsy store right now on Retro Maker. I mean, I've got my socials connected.
You're on Happs, right?
On my account, on my Happs account, I've got an Instagram account that I need to work on a little bit more, and a Twitch account. That's it.
Okay. Do you have a specific time that you go live on Happs?
I don't. No, not yet. I don't have a specific schedule. I just kind of. It's a lot of daytime stuff. Actually, it's been a lot of like. I guess noon Eastern time to about 4 Eastern time. That time frame is usually when I'm broadcasting, and then sometimes at night. But it's all sporadic. I don't have a set schedule yet.
There. Look at Lindsay dropping that Etsy link in the chat room.
You know that's my specialty. I do links.
She's doing it,
my
man.
job.
All the
Thank
socials, getting you connected there, brother.
That's right.
That's
Thanks,
amazing.
Lindsay.
Well, I want to say, Chris, I really, you and I have had a lot of discussions just about life and living and motivation. You were one of the first people, aside from Lindsay Badger, when I came to this platform, that I connected with. And I would love joining you on your daily walks when you're doing your walks. And you just, whether you're walking around a lake and it's frozen or You're just doing something that's just amazing, and just having that conversation, that dialogue with you is just being a creative, but just being a human being at the same time.
Oh
You
yeah,
and I have had some deep
Yeah.
discussions about that in the past, but I just want to thank you for tonight specifically because there's a lot of things here that we've covered that I didn't even really know about you. I didn't understand all these many facets of who you are, and it's a deeper level of appreciation and admiration for what you do. And I just want to encourage you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
definitely.
That little
Thank
voice in the
you.
back of your
Thank you,
head
Joe.
sometimes. Oh, you're welcome. That little voice in the back of your head sometimes will tell you, "I'm not the best DJ. I don't want to record this. I don't want to do this." Dude, let me tell you something right now. And I think the chat will agree with me 1,000% right now. Dude, you freaking got it. You're fire. You're baller. You may not see it because we as creatives, we're our own worst critic. But
Mhm.
I think this chat room will probably say differently and otherwise
Yes,
too.
yes.
So,
Definitely go back, watch the replay, go check out all the comments. Nothing but love for you. I feel like you're like a hidden gem that I'm so
Mhm.
thrilled that you got to be spotlighted tonight and
amen.
to show all the things that is Chris Wiegand that I personally knew about, but I'm sure that there's some people that have discovered some new things about you and you probably just knocked their socks off with all the amazing things that you do. So
So
keep
good.
doing the amazing things you do. Thank you for taking us on your nature walks. I miss Colorado something fierce. The mountains are just gorgeous, and you live in one of the most beautiful places in the nation.
I'm lucky,
So you're
yes.
lucky to be able to share that with us. I thank you and applaud you for all
I
of
mean, look at the chat right
your
now, dude. It's
talents,
blowing
man.
up, man. It's
Well,
blowing up
yeah,
for you, man.
I thank you guys so much. I appreciate what you guys do for Haps every day. You guys are so constant, and I just love you guys. So thank you for the kind words, and I hear what you're saying. I
Well,
appreciate it. You're going to
we
see
love
more of me.
we love you too,
Yay!
man. Please keep doing what you're doing because whether you believe it or not, you are definitely making a huge impact on this platform, this community.
Thank
So
you.
you are, man, and I want you to know that. Now, before we release you to the final set of the night, Troy, have I missed anything? Because Carrie's not here to keep me in line tonight,
Oh wait,
so I want
here's
to.
Carrie to keep you in line.
Okay, okay, there's Carrie. Carrie, have I missed anything? No, Troy. What? I just want to make sure
Sorry.
that all the
Oh
I's
my
are
gosh.
dotted and T's are crossed.
Yeah, everything's dotted and crossed as far as I can tell.
Well, that's
If
good.
if anybody would like to sponsor, or that would be great too.
Yes, we
Absolutely.
always
Cool.
appreciate sponsors.
Yeah.
And if you feel so inclined, we will be greatly appreciative. Also, thank you to all of the awards that have been dropped tonight. KD, Stacy, Naomi, Robinson Wood Picks, Pablo, Shirley, Michael Murray, C.S. Murphy, Foamy, Carrie Long, and Jim in Chicagoland. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for going through and dropping us that love. And I'm ready for some more music.
I
I don't know
am. I
about
got
you
one more
guys.
announcement to make, and I'm turning this guy loose. We're shutting up, and we're going to drop it out with him. I will not be here for the next 2 weeks of Happsstars. My wife and I are going to be vacationing in the Great Smoky Mountains of South Tennessee. Really excited for that. So we'll be gone for 8 or 9 days, something roughly. But next week, she's back again. The co-host with the mostest, Lindsay Badger, returns
I
for her
know.
second. Could this be a precursor to season 4 official co-host? I don't know. I'm just saying, Troy. I don't
I
know. I mean,
haven't
I'm just
signed any
letting you know.
contracts yet.
All right. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. But
I love it.
I won't be. But next week will be Lindsay Badger in my place, and then the week after that will be our own Foamy Homie coming in to co-host with Carrie Long. It's going to be
Awesome.
awesome, and then I'm going to come back and finish out the remainder of the season in the final 2 episodes. But I will miss you guys for the next 2 weeks, but I will be watching on the replays if I have signal wherever I'm at, because I'll be out in the boondocks. But you guys have an amazing night. Troy, I love you. Thank you for all that you do in the back end on this, making it work seamlessly and effortlessly. And Badges, just being an awesome co-host. You're freaking awesome. You know you are. I'm just going to
Thank you
shut up now.
for letting me come and hang out with you.
Well, I
It's
kind
been
of
a blast.
I couldn't figure anybody else to do that and fill those shoes.
Aw.
But all right, guys, Chris,
You guys are the best. The best
it's yours,
cool
brother.
hosts. All right. Here we
All
go
right,
with the
man.
last set.
Make it rock, baby. Make it
Thanks.
Tell you a story and I come out bluntly. Born an ugly child, hey, nobody would want me. I used to walk around and get upset and upsetter till I figured out ways to make myself look better. As I got older, my awareness expanded. I met this beautiful girl and my wish was commanded. Didn't hang with the fellas cause they started getting shady. I'd always be my girl and y'all can call her my lady. I loved her a lot, word up, not going to front. See, the problem that arose was why on earth did she want me? Couldn't figure it out, and to make things worse, I was cursed with the torment of not being the first. And the first was this fly guy, made me very jealous. Only thing she cheat on me and thought to other fellas. Two wrongs would make a right, but anytime we would fight, I would kindly pick up the phone and call a girl out of spite. I shouldn't have done it. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm feeling sad. I'm saying, man, wake up, yo. I'm feeling sad and blue.
Oh yeah, Slick Rick.
I'm feeling. I want to make this right, so direct it was admiring. Tried to stop my love, but no, my love was not retiring. To catch her in a lie was near impossible and tricky. Didn't want her in certain clothes, getting really picky. We got into it again, this time she got too bright. So me preventing a fight, I just stayed out for the night. I had to ease up off the pressure. So I went off to the park with my Omega Van Sedan. This girl came over, she was trucked down excessive. Started talking to me and she was probably quite aggressive. A pretty young thing, she didn't strike me as no hoe. So weak-minded, rigged the ruler, went on with the flow. My joy was getting hard, right without me even knowing. We stepped back to my bed and I could feel us for her growing. The girl took off her coat, her body was no joke. Well, I rubbed it to and zipping and I went for broke. I shouldn't have done it. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling. Now I've sinned and there's no one to blame. The night when I went home I felt real guilty and ashamed. Snuck right into bed, I felt just like a shady fella. What made me so censored? How am I ever gonna tell her? I shouldn't have cheated just because we'd always shout. Endurance, be a man, that's what I had to learn about. I mean, I guess I like this one, the secrets that I hid. I figured I patch things up and then I tell her what I did. Then after that night she started acting heaven sent. I found her house spotless and she helped out with the rent. So I bought the ring, it was a good 20 carat. Then word got back about me chilling at the Paris. So when I got home I thought she'd just be out to roast. Instead I found this letter and I found an overdose. It said it for you, but I guess you didn't care. All this went and happened because of me and my affair. Shouldn't have done it. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm feeling sad, y'all. I'm feeling sad. I'm saying, man. Wait up, yo. I'm feeling sad and blue. I'm sad and blue. Sad and blue. Sad and blue. I'm feeling sad and blue. Sad and blue. Sad and blue. Cause it's sad and blue. You know what I'm saying, baby? Sad and blue. I'm feeling sad and blue.
No, I used to dream about this when I was a little boy. Never thought it would end up this way.
Oh yeah!
Back in the days on the boulevard I Linden, we used to kick routines and the presence was fitting. It was I, the abstract.
And me, the 5-footer. I kicks the mad style, so step off the Frankfurter.
Yo, Fife, you remember that routine? That way used to make spiffy like Mr. Clean?
A tidbit, a smidgen. I don't get the message, so you got to run the pigeon.
You're on point 5.
All the time, tip.
You're on point 5.
All the time, tip.
You're on point 5.
All the time, tip.
So then grab the microphone and let your words rip.
Now here's a funky introduction of how nice I am. Tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram. I'm like an energizer cause you see I last long. My crew is never ever whack because we stand strong. Now if you say my style is whack, that's where you're dead wrong. I slay that body and El Segundo, then push it along. You be a fool to reply the fight was not the man. Cause you know and I know that you know who I am. A special shout out piece goes out to all my pals you see. And a middle finger goes for all you punk MCs. Cause I love it when you whack MCs despise me. They get vexed, I will next, cause none can test me. I'm just a fly MC who's 5 for 3 and very brave. On top remaining, no home training cause I misbehave. I come correct and full effect of all my holes in check. And before I get the butt, the gym must be a wreck. You see my aura's positive, I don't promote no junk. See I'm far from a bully and I ain't a punk. Extremity of rhythm, yeah that's what you heard. So just clean out your ears and just check the word.
Check the time, y'all. 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 Check it out. Check it out. Check the time, y'all. Check the time, y'all. Check the time, y'all. Play, play, play. Check the time, y'all. Check the time, y'all. Check it out. Check it out.
Back in the days on the boulevard of Linden, we used to kick routines and the presence was fitting. It was I, the Viper.
And me, the abstract. The rhymes were so rumpin' that the brothers wrote the Zach.
Hey yo, Tip, do you recall when we used to rock those fly routines on your cousin's block?
Let me see. Damn, I can't remember. I'll receive the message and you will play the same.
You're on point, Tip.
All the time, Fife.
You're on point, Tip.
Yeah, all the time, Fife.
You're on point, Tip.
You're all the time, Fife.
So play the resurrector and give the dead some life.
Okay, if knowledge is the key, then just show me the lock. Got the scrawny legs, but I move just like Lou Brock with speed. I'm agile, plus I'm worth your while. 100% intelligent black child. My opera presentation sizzles the retina. How far must you go to gain respect? Well, it's kinda simple. Just remain your own, or you'll be crazy, sad, and alone. Industry rule number 4080. Record company people are shady. So kids watch your back, cause I think they smoke crack. I don't doubt it. Look at how they act. But off the better things like a hip hop forum. Pass me the rock and I'll score 'em with the decorum and proper. What you say, hammer? Proper. Rap is not pop. If you call it that, then stop.
Upside down, living my life underneath the ground. Never heard of and hardly seen a whole lot of talk about the red, black, and green. So dirty, you didn't want to deal with it. So funky, you didn't want to get with it. But that's alright, no problem, cool. Sent to the earth to educate the fool. Waiting around for my shell to crack. After that, you can't hold me back. Looking out for the danger signs. Jungle Brothers bringing forth a change in times. Left, right, up, and from which angle? Straight up the middle, reality's the riddle. Sending a message to the old and young, confused about where I come from. Where Africa from the Zulu nation.
Yes, yes, y'all. You don't stop. Keep on, y'all. To the beat.
Taking you back.
I just can't hold back and forth, cause I'm a man with
One love, Ella.
The One Love Award.
Take out your shake, y'all. Sun comes soon. I don't know what this world is coming to.
Thank you for that Got Talent Award. Hot Money Valentine.
The bigger trouble, better days will come, and if they don't come, I get them and face them.
Go, Lindsay. Go, Lindsay.
Thank you, Naomi, for the Creative Genius Award. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Naomi, for the Creative Genius Award. I want to say thanks again for everybody. Joe and Lindsay and Troy. And of course, Carrie Long. The stars of Happsstars.
There she
I also
is.
want to
There's
put some
that
shout outs here to some real DJs on Happs. We got DJ Extreme, DJ DDK, DJ Divine Soul. Got to check these guys out. DJ Cracker J out of Queens. Of course, we got some music purveyors that play the tunes as well. We've got Michael Bathurst. We got Daryl from Cool. Check him out. Playing some great jazz and lots of other great tunes. Of course, I can't forget about my boy, Tony D. He's starting out with the hip hop on his channel, and I'm loving it. Check him out. Of course, we got some beat makers. We got Swift Beats. We got Peter Promo. And of course, Foamy Homie. Appreciate all you guys.
Let's go, Foamy.
Keep it rocking on the Happs. keep the music flowing.
Ella with the Creative Genius Award.
Oh yeah, here it goes. You guys ready for this? Protect your ears.
Let's get everybody up on screen and rock out this rest of the show. Oh yeah, all night long.
that's it for me. That's my last song. Thanks again for having me on Happsstars.
Thanks for being here, dude. You
Yeah, thanks for
rocked
being
the
here, Chris.
house tonight.
Bro, bringing the house freaking down on fire tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, let's give it up for Mr. Chris Wiegand. Ladies and gentlemen. So good, bro.
Thanks again.
Hey, here we go. We're closing it out, guys.
All right, you guys have an amazing night. We will be back next Thursday. Lindsay Badger will be hosting alongside Carrie Long. And then Foamy Homie, our very own man of many talents as well, will be back on the 27th, or the 28th, I believe it is, co-hosting with Carrie. And I will be back on the 4th of October, closing out Season 3 of Happsstars. Troy, you've got the controls. Feel free to close us out, brother.
Yeah, there we go.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night. Take care.
Featured on Happsstars, showcasing who you are. Happs is where you can view Carrie Long live in the crew. You're a Happstar, no matter who you are. Live for all to see. Just be you and I'll be me. Featured on Happsstars.